The Buffalo Bills trade their number one wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. And guess what? We're back. Welcome to Buffalo Against the World.
This is Buffalo Against the World Sports Talk with Kunu and
Cousin Brad.
Bills Mafia. It's our time.
Act like you know, baby.
Act like you know.
Welcome everyone to another edition of Buffalo Against the World. And with me, as always, to the stage, calling him to the stage, my cousin Brad. He's back. What's going on, cuz? What's going on, cuz?
What's going on? What's going on in this Eclipse Monday? Hopefully everyone stays safe with their Eclipse glasses. I know I did. We back, baby. We back. It's been a while. A lot's happened.
It's been a while.
What's happened since we've been away?
A lot has happened. We're going to talk about this Stephon Diggs trade. But before we get into anything, Bills Mafia, where are you at, man? Where are you Welcome everyone.
We've been gone.
Buffalo Against the World. I know we've been away for a minute. You know, we had a debrief for the season, but we are back with the Built in Buffalo platform, like we knew we was, and we promised we would be back. So tell us where you're at. What part of the United States you at right now, man? You know we are in Buffalo, New York. Yeah,
check in.
Buffalo Bills. So check in with us. Man, we got a lot to talk about, cousin Brad. We got to talk about this Stephon Diggs trade. You know, fans are feeling up and down about it. Fans are feeling up and down, and we're going to give you guys an opportunity to talk about this today. Because
we want to hear from y'all.
Because guess what we got on our show? We have a phone line available. Jennifer, what's up, Jennifer? She's calling from Buffalo.
What up, Jennifer? She's 716 in the building.
Man, there's 716s in the building. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? We got a lot to talk about today, man. Bills Mafia roll call. Come on, talk to us. Yeah, cousin Brad. So the big news, obviously, is the Stephon Diggs trade. Something that we discussed last year. It's been a topic of discussion for a long time. The antics, the tweets, the cryptic tweets. Everything has been happening. A lot of this has been going on. The brother, Trevon Diggs mentioned, Trevor Diggs mentioning that that Diggs need to get out of Buffalo. It's a lot.
We can just say it. He watched our show. He seen what we said, and he ran. So that's what it is. We can say it. I can admit it. He watched the show and was like, "Are they talking about me? Oh, I'm gone. We out." So I mean,
that's a flattering thought. But
I'm just saying.
We're gonna get into it. It's a lot to talk about. Was it a bad move for the Buffalo Bills? Cousin Brad, I'm gonna kick it off, man. Reality. Let's start with the good.
Okay.
We always start with we got to go with the yin and the yang. But let's talk about the good behind this. I'm gonna let you go ahead and kick it off, and then I'm gonna respond to what you say. Go ahead.
Okay. Obviously, it's not easy to replace a Stephon Diggs. That goes without saying. Pro Bowl caliber player. Definitely may wind up in the Hall of Fame. We'll see. It takes receivers longer than they get in than any other position. Definitely not going to be easy to replace him. We got a draft pick next year, second round for him. I'm going to be honest. It's like the Buffalo Bills are paying back a debt. We spent a lot of money on Josh Allen. We spent a lot of money on Von Miller. We spent a lot of money in other free agency to get over the hump. Technically, we didn't get over the hump, so we got to start paying stuff off. We're not going to get rid of Josh Allen. We're not going to get rid of other players that we paid for, and we're just paying a debt back. Silver lining is, like we said, is this good? Is this a bad move? I want to take everybody back first. Y'all remember a couple years ago when the drought officially ended? Remember that? Remember when the drought officially ended, came to an end? Stephon Diggs wasn't even on the team. So we're talking about playoffs. We went to the playoffs without him before. We still got Josh Allen. We still got a good group of guys. So I don't think all is lost. Big, huge piece of the puzzle missing, but I still think we can pull it together.
All right. So my good on this situation has to do with he didn't want to be here. He didn't want to be here anymore. I think when he started to see guys like Poyer, guys like Hyde, guys getting out the door, he was like, man, this is a rebuild. We rebuild. And on top of the
Are we though? I mean, are we though?
On top of the stuff that we saw with the season, you know, the antics, you know, all of that other stuff, we know their relationship wasn't too tight. There's been articles coming out right now that's mentioning that, look, things wasn't so kosher. You know, and here's the thing about the Buffalo Bills, and this is something that they are really good at keeping stuff in-house when it comes to issues that's happening, because now it's starting to come out just about right now. So when I'm gonna say it's good, because if a player don't want to be here, and from my sources is telling me that he demanded this trade. So if he demanded this trade, I mean, what can you do? You can't keep a player that don't want to be kept. Another thing that I want to talk about today, I want to bring up, is his statistics in elimination games. This is very, very, very important, right? And I pulled them up right here. So let's go back to this past season, this horrific loss that we lost in Buffalo, because we couldn't wait for Kansas City in Buffalo. You guys know this.
It still stings. Right? It still stings.
8 targets. Okay.
Yeah.
He had 3 receptions for 21 yards.
True.
Okay. The Cincinnati game last season, he had 10 targets, 4 receptions, 35 yards. Now, I do want to include this, Cousin Brad. It is important to know, just because he had 8 targets don't mean it was 8 drops. He had 10 drops. Okay.
Absolutely.
It just means it could have been a missed throw. It could have been a bunch of different things. But let's notice he is being targeted. Okay. Now let's go back to the big one where we had the big divisional game against the Kansas City Chiefs, where Gabe Davis went crazy with 4 touchdowns. He had 6 targets, 3 receptions, 7 yards.
Okay.
7 yards in the biggest game that the Bills have had over the past 5 years. Okay.
I mean, he was drawing the coverage away from Gabe, though. Like you mentioned in previous.
That's fine, but I'm going to finish this one.
Okay.
AFC Championship 2020. Okay. 2021. Excuse me.
Oh, wasn't that such a fun game?
Was his biggest playoff performance again in an elimination game. AFC Championships, he had 11 targets, 6 receptions, and 77 yards. So that was his best performance. His best performance was that year. So that's where Stefon Diggs' statistics were in the postseason. So
hold up, stop. Those are Those are post games we lost. So you mean I mean those are games that you said elimination. All playoff games are elimination games.
Yeah.
So we're forgetting about the great games he had against the Patriots, game he had against the Dolphins, game he had against the Colts, and games he had against the Steelers. Yeah. He had good games too. Every playoff game is one elimination.
Games that we won. We know he played good.
Right.
Talking about these big games against these big competitors, these big time quarterbacks.
True.
Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, which were the two our way. Okay.
Yeah.
And these are guys that we have going to be competing with the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 9, 10 years. Okay. Yeah. So, and now the AFC is getting better. So
a lot better.
Maybe the reset might have been necessary. All right. So what do you think about, let's go into some of the bad things. I'll start here. Obviously, you traded for a 2nd-round pick, not this year, next year.
Yes.
Next year. You got somebody for next year in the 2nd round. You're not even getting a player return this year. So that's horrible.
Correct.
That's your 2nd best player on your team. 2nd best player on your team. He's gone for next year, 2025, 2nd-round pick. Now, some people say a 2nd-round pick is high value. You know, that's probably the best that you're going to get. Another bad thing, the $31 million cap hit. I hate that. I
do too.
I absolutely hate it because we can't really move forward past that. That's still hindering us from getting a really good player. So go ahead with that, man. It's on you.
Yeah. Again, we're paying the debt off. We're paying the debt. Look, I mean, he's not the only guy we lost. We lost Trey White. We lost Jordan Poyer. We lost Floyd. We lost a lot of key guys this offseason. It has not been the best offseason for us. We got to pay the debts off. We spent a lot of money. We bought a lot of players on credit. We spent a lot of money. We got to pay the debt back somehow. And now we just lost our second best player.
Yeah. And it's tough, and it brings mixed feelings. You know, we've seen some fans crying.
Yeah.
I didn't think this would happen like this because I felt that we were on the hook for this.
Yeah.
But ultimately, weighing my options here, the good and the bad, you take the cap hit this year. Next year, you're free from it. You free up over $26 million. That's great. That's great going forward into the future. Where Brandon Beane can spend that bread next year and get us a big time veteran or somebody that could really, really help this team go to another level. But this year, it really hinders us.
It does hinder us, but look, I mean, we got Curtis Samuel, a veteran player. We may go in the draft and get us a receiver this year. We still got Kincaid. We still got Knox. We still got Shakir. We got another. I forgot the other guy we got. I'm gonna be honest with you. We got a couple AU guys.
Exactly. One of those guys.
Exactly. We got a couple AU guys.
And much respect to Shakir, because Shakir actually with lesser targets outshined Stephon Diggs in those last 8 games. Listen,
true, and he's gonna have to step up. He's gonna have to step up.
I'm not sitting here saying, Bills fans, that Shakir is a replacement for Stephon Diggs.
Not at all. Not at all.
I do not believe that one bit.
But
I think he'll be a good role player in this offense coming in this season.
Exactly. And we still have weapons that we can still use to get the job done. I mean, football is NFL, we know, is a business. NFL, not for long. And you got to pay your debt back. You got to pay your debt back eventually. You spend a lot of money, you don't go to the Super Bowl, you don't win, you got to pay that money back. It is what it is. I'm not saying that the Super Bowl window is closed. It's going to be a tough year. Let's just call a spade a spade. Josh, but like I said at the beginning of the show, we made the playoffs without Stephon Diggs before he got here. Can y'all remember the receivers we had? John Brown, Cole Beasley, and so it's possible. It's possible we can make the playoffs. Now, what got me, he went to an AFC team. That hurts. And the AFC team that's on the rise, the Texans were where we were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got the rookie quarterback who's a stud. They got a good offensive line, fiery head coach. Now they just got one of the best receivers in the game to help out their super good quarterback.
Yeah.
They only getting better. They're only getting better.
AFC is getting tougher. It's getting tougher. We talked about Jim Harbaugh over here with the Chargers. I mean, look, man, you got Justin Fields and Russell Wilson over there, you know,
in Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Joe Burrow's coming back.
It's only going to get tougher, but man, look, man, we got 17.
We got 17. We do. 17. And that dude, until otherwise, is the second biggest threat, maybe the third biggest threat in the NFL. Oh man, I forgot about Derrick Henry. Play for the Ravens. Oh.
Yep.
AFC is not wide open anymore. The AFC is not wide open anymore. So we got 17. I hate to say it, but we're just gonna have to ride that pony this season. It's gonna be a lot put on you, Josh Allen. I'm gonna be real with you, but I believe in you.
We're gonna talk about some of the free agent acquisitions, the end of an era. We're gonna get into that a little bit later on in the show, but now I'm gonna give it some opportunities for you guys to call into the show. Okay, this is only going to be twice in our episodes where you'll have an opportunity to call in. And right now, it's a 10-minute window open for you to call in with your thoughts on the Stephon Diggs. Was it a good or bad move? And actually, we have a caller on the line right now. Caller from
They ain't waste no time at all.
Hey, this caller been waiting for a little bit. So caller from 716-697. You on Buffalo against the world with Kulu and cousin Brad, man. Tell us about this Stephon Diggs move. Do you think it was a good or a bad move? Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, Kulu, it's your boy Lee. How you doing?
What's good, Lee Fleet? What's going on, my dog?
Welcome back, bro. Seen the pictures on Facebook. Welcome back.
I got like about 3 points here I would like to make. I think you're actually wrong that Diggs wanted out because of the rebuild. No, the Buffalo Bills wanted to get younger on the back end. That's why they let Hyde Poyer go. The Buffalo News is reporting that this wasn't just this year. Stephon Diggs had incentives, and if you noticed over the games, Josh Allen was forcing balls over to Stephon Diggs. The sports writer Vic Carucci also wrote that the reason why he stood up, they sent him home on OTAs, is because he threw a water bottle at Sean McDermott's face.
Okay, hold on.
Whoa.
Hold on. We can't do hearsay. I can't confirm that. So, but go ahead, finish your point. But we're not gonna throw any hearsay out there. Go ahead.
However, I think it was a great trade because they just wanted to get rid of him. And in this league, you could win a Super Bowl without a number one receiver. And the Kansas City Chiefs proved that as long as you got a good quarterback. And it's
their receivers
gone past that as well, too. Is that you take a look at the numbers. You threw some numbers out there about Stephon Diggs. Well, let's throw some numbers about Dawson Knox, Kincaid, and Shakir. I'm not sitting there saying they're replacing as being a number one receiver, but when Joe Brady took over, James Cook got a lot of receiving yards and running yards. The ball was being spread around. Josh Allen's interception rate went down completely. And I expect it to go down even more this year because Diggs is not getting incentives. He's not there. And like I said, there's been a lot of reports of a lot of drama. And the drama started going back, I don't know if you guys remember, is when the Bills game was moved from Buffalo over to Detroit during that winter storm 2 years ago. And he was on the sidelines complaining that he wasn't getting the ball. That was the year they lost to Cincinnati in the postseason, and that was the drama that actually started.
Okay, Lee. All right, thank you, man. We appreciate you. We're going to respond. Hey, we're going to respond to that.
Okay.
Look.
Go ahead, cool. You go ahead.
The speculations, we not get into the throwing whatever he was talking about on that. Lee, I love you, bro, but we can't do that here on the show. Number two, yes, there were antics. Yes, they were antics. And I think this is something that kind of happens with a lot of receivers. We talking about what happened with T.O., several different teams, right? Ocho Cinco,
dude, they're divas. They're divas. Let's be honest. We can say it. They're divas, man.
Right. I mean, these were guys who were really good players, though. Now, and I think we have to really be careful, cousin Brad, because if a player wants the ball, they want to make a play, right?
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of times we try to highlight that drop pass in that last game on Stephon Diggs and make that his career. I'm not going to do that. That's not fair. All players.
Not at all. I'm not doing that. Now, what I'm going to go with is he felt some type of way when he left Minnesota. This is coming out of his mouth. I'm not misquoting him. This was him on The Shop, which I watch every single week. He said he felt some type of way where he didn't feel like they wanted to win anymore in Minnesota. He came to Buffalo. He did not feel that way when he was here in Buffalo. The dude wants to win. The dude is a competitor. Wide receivers are going to be wide receivers. We ain't seeing nothing new. We ain't seeing nothing that ain't happened before. Yeah, it's a lot more cameras. It's a lot more microphones. It's social media. We have a lot more access to these players now. But we ain't seeing nothing we ain't seen before when it comes to NFL wide receivers.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
I got to put this back on the screen because people want to jump in here. Let's take another call.
Go ahead.
Calling from 585 from The Rock. The Rock is in the building.
OC.
What's going on? This is Kulu and cousin Brad. Talk to us. Tell us your thoughts on the Stephon Diggs trade.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, 585?
What's going on?
This is Izzy. How you doing, man?
My brother Izzy.
What up, Izzy? What up?
Watching your show the other day, man. Really good show the other day, man. So talk to me about the Stephon Diggs situation, bro. What's your thoughts?
I think like guys like you and me who do our shows a few days, after a week's events, kind of have time to process everything and really deal with what we saw.
Yeah.
And, get past the emotional barrier that is, the hate or, love for that player. You can kind of just digest what it really was. And so for me, it seemed like the writing was on the wall for a while, not wanting to be there at training camp earlier in the year or OTAs or mandatory mini camps and all that stuff. And the very concerned nature of Sean McDermott and all that, craziness that was going on. I think that the writing was kind of on the wall, but I don't think that it was something that was determined until later on. And I think that maybe they just thought it was time to get younger, and that as the offense progressed throughout the season, he seemed to be kind of getting phased out, whether that was him just not fitting in or them doing it on purpose. I think speculation would be the best bet in guessing that, but they said we don't like to do that over here, so I think that Stefon Diggs' time in Buffalo just kind of naturally progressed its way out of town.
Yeah, I agree, man.
That's
Thank
fair.
you. Appreciate the call. Make sure
fair.
y'all check out Izzy right here on the Built-In Buffalo platform. I agree. I think the writing was on the wall for a long time with Stefon Diggs. I mean, honestly,
How long though?
I talked about this. I believe after that loss to Cincinnati, I believe the writing was on the wall then. I believe, honestly, I think he lost trust in Sean McDermott. And this is just my personal opinion. We talked about coming in. This stuff, like that loss happened. It goes all the way into OTAs. You know what I'm saying? It goes all the way into OTAs, and he's still not happy because it was unsettled. Okay? So I think it's a lot to do with how he really felt about this team and the direction that this team was going. Is it going to, like I said earlier, is it going into a rebuild? Is it going into a reset? Is him and Josh having problems that we don't really know about? What is it? I mean, you really look at, if you take the time to really look at Stefon Diggs' season stats.
But hold on, before you do that, before you throw the numbers out there in the stats, we don't know what's going on. We're from an outside looking in. And let's be honest, if we're going to keep it all the way at Thou Wow, this season wasn't good. This season, we got lucky. We got good, but this season did not start off well. Me and you did this entire season. Started off okay, then we started sucking. I'm just going to be real. We started sucking. Me and you were sitting on this show. We wanted the old Josh Allen back, and we were complaining about this. And they fired our offensive coordinator. What was it, week 5, I believe? Week 5? Was it week 5?
Yep.
I think it was week 5 or 6. This season was not easy. And this was the season where we're supposed to come out. We're supposed to throttle the Jets on Monday Night Football. They lost on the last second. This was not an easy season. So you can't necessarily say, like, oh, the writing was on the wall. He was here. He was productive. He did what he had to do. It wasn't an easy season. So, yeah, the writing might have been on the wall, but I'm not just going to say the guy didn't want to be here. We don't know that. We don't know what's in his head. His brother team sucked too.
So hold on. Okay. I hear you. But I disagree with you, strongly disagree with you, because I don't believe the Bills wanted to take that $31 million cap hit. I highly doubt that the Buffalo Bills wanted to do that. I believe it was his call. And that's what most of the sources are saying, that he called Beane, McDermott, and said, hey, I want to go.
But no one confirmed that.
I mean, look, I believe, this is what I believe. I'm not saying that it's facts. I'm not saying anything is facts. I don't believe they wanted to take a $31 million hit. Let's take another call. 716-816. You are in the building. Buffalo against the world with Kulu and Cousin Brad. What's your thoughts on the Stefon Diggs drama?
Hello, can you hear me, brothers?
Yes, I can, my brother.
Who am I hear you?
This is Marcus.
Marcus, what's going on, my
Marcus?
brother? Welcome to the show.
What's happening, fellas? Retired firefighter.
Yeah, man. What's up, man?
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, man. We appreciate it.
You, my brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. No problem. Yeah, real quick. What what your cousin was just mentioning about with the Bills, like you were starting off, how we started off the season. If you notice, beginning of the season, Diggs was fed the rock a lot. Mm-hmm. He was getting 100-yard games weekly, going in and all of that and stuff. And we were half winning, we were doing okay.
Right.
When the offense philosophy changed with Joe Brady, Diggs was kind of phased out because the offensive philosophy went to spreading the ball around, running the ball more, because that's Brady's style, but also because we had so many injuries, especially after that Jacksonville game, of specific players that was going down, and you had Milano went down, and all the just injuries on defense. So we had to help the team out. We couldn't be quick strike and throwing the ball all over the place. They had to play more ball control. But by doing that and throwing the ball to the backs and stuff, you start seeing other people getting involved. I mean, James Cook went from the first year starter. Now you talking about he got numbers that match up with McCaffrey. Mm-hmm. And now,
Marcus, can I jump in here real quick? I just want to ask you this one question because I like what you're saying. I like everything you're saying, but I want to ask you this. Don't you think the attention that was on Stefon Diggs also attracts more attention to him and lets them run in single coverage?
Actually,
I don't.
Yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no, because it was scheme specific depending on certain teams. Because if you notice,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
In the philosophy, like in Miami game, for example, I was there at the game and watching some of the things. They started doubling Kincaid on specific plays, especially on third down. And that's like one play specifically when James Cook broke for 50, because he was the third option, because they started doubling different people on different options and stuff. So Diggs, of course, is going to double team here and there, but specific teams, he was one-on-one. And the scheme started opening things up. That's why you saw Shakir start getting a lot of yak yards coming off of that. You start seeing Kincaid. Kincaid is actually going to be the number one target getter on the offense.
I believe so.
Receiver all we want. We can get that guy that can stretch the field, who's going to really open up the offense. You're looking at, remember, Brady came in, he had no OTAs. Mm-hmm. We didn't have no mini camp, didn't have any training camp. The Bills also,
I agree,
5 in all of the major categories. Our quarterback led the league in offense. We got a running back that's top 5 in total yards. And then, so you see the Bills are saying we are probably going more scheme specific than worrying about feeding the ball to this one guy. Because once we get that speedster who's going to come in the draft, probably a Brian Thomas, who I'm hoping, that can stretch the defense.
Yep.
Now you have Kincaid, Shakir, them guys that can work underneath, and we still can run and throw the football.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So now, yes, it's going to jive.
Absolutely.
So now, playing the game, and quarterbacks know, yes, you want to feed the ball to your number one, but when you don't have to worry about that guy in your ear saying, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, it's a little easier on the quarterback. Yeah. So now you can just throw the ball to whoever's open instead of saying, I gotta get him this targets because that's my guy. Now, when you need 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and it's one-on-one, you look over there to your number one. Okay, I expect you to catch this ball because I'm throwing it to you because you got the one-on-one that I want. But if you double it up and then the scheme directs you somewhere else, then you get the ball over there without having worrying about him coming back in your ear saying, man, you could have threw it anyway.
Right. Man, Marcus, man, that's man, you made some excellent
Great call.
Man, excellent call, man. Please, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Facebook. Man, please be one of our consistent callers because you know you're
that was a great call. He made a lot of great points, and I agree with a lot of what he said. Absolutely 1,000%.
You guys was on, so I figured I'm going to come on there and give you a call and put a little something out there. But I'll definitely hit you up. I like what you guys are doing and appreciate that.
Thank you, my brother.
We appreciate you, man. Appreciate the service you gave us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head. He definitely hit the nail on the head with that one. I mean, and you know, that's a point that we really haven't touched on. We don't know what's going to happen when Joe Brady has a full offseason to work with. He really just whiteboarded it when he took over and really gave us a dash of what he can do. We don't know what this guy's going to come up with in the offseason with the players that he has. So that is a factor that we did not consider. So shout out to Marcus for that call.
Yeah, that was a great call. Excellent call. And that's what we like. We like football guys. You know, I've been watching that new LeBron James podcast about the mind of the game. And that was the mind of the game call of the day right there, man. So, cousin Brad, man, we got we did get some additions. So let's move off this Stefon Diggs talk. We closed the phone line.
We're still salty. This happened like a week and a half ago. We still salty about it.
I mean, look,
it hurt. It hurt, man. It hurt. I gotta throw away my jersey. I gotta throw away my kid's jersey.
I got a jersey. I got a Diggs jersey. I got to get rid of. But you know what?
That's why I don't buy jerseys.
And we're going to talk about this towards the end of the show about where we think Stefon Diggs is as an all-time Bill. But let's talk about these what we've lost. Okay, we lost Jordan. Okay. We lost Micah Hyde. We lost the SWAT team. We lost Siran Neal, a great special team.
Trey White.
We lost Mitch Morse, Trey White, as you just mentioned. Nyheim Hines is gone. Deontay Hardy, didn't even think he should have been here.
Oh, God, don't get me started on that.
Then we traded Stefon Diggs. I mean, this is kind of the feeling of the end of an era, so to speak. Now, when you think about these things, you know, you think about I want to take people back to when the Rams won the Super Bowl. Okay? The Rams, they signed all of these players, you know, big name players. You remember OBJ was over there. Odell Beckham was over there, and you know, they won. They won a Super Bowl. I think
they went all in.
Had that idea. I think Buffalo kind of had that idea, although a lot of the players wasn't big time signings, right? But they were guys that worked really well in the system. I mean, who knew Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde before they got to Buffalo and became SWAT team, right? These guys.
I was a fan of Hyde in Green Bay. I didn't watch a lot of Cleveland, but I was a fan of Hyde in Green Bay.
Well, I wasn't. But anyhow, I didn't know who Jordan Poyer was. I didn't even know what we were getting, to be honest with you.
I didn't either.
I'm going to say these guys got their career here in Buffalo. They got their career.
Even
Stefon Diggs, even though he had 2,000-yard seasons before, I mean, he was in a really tough conference over in the NFC at that time. But he had the bulk of his best part of his career right here in Buffalo. Trey White, I mean, was an all-pro at one. He's out there.
Can we give a shout out to Trey? Can we give a shout out to Trey White one time? Because I mean, I feel bad, man. Like, I feel bad about Trey White. He worked so hard to come back, and to see him get carted off again, that broke my heart. That was like, he was Sean McDermott's first pick in the draft. It was his first pick. He was so grateful, so humble, and he loved the city of Buffalo. Like, Trey White, man. It's gonna be hard to see him playing for another team. I got to be honest.
Yeah, it is. But like, at the end of the day,
it's a business.
That 4-year window came and it went, and we didn't get to a Super Bowl. And something needs to change. And you really got to think about, for McDermott's sake, McDermott needed to reset, because if he would have kept these same guys and we would be here again, he'd be on the hot seat out of here.
True, and you got to look at it too. Oh, go ahead. I'll let you go.
Reset was really to save him, and I'm just going to tell it just like it is. This reset was to save McDermott. To say, okay, we had these players, they did well, not good enough though. Now we need to reset. We need to get bigger, stronger, faster, younger. Okay, well, we got our core receiver, we got our offensive line, we established our defensive line, but those other skill position players, we need to adjust that.
Okay. Yes, but I mean, I get where you were going with it too, but I mean, a lot of it was based off of injury too, man. We got Rasul Douglas. We got a steal with Rasul Douglas. Thank Brandon Beane for that. Shout out to Brandon Beane for that, because that was a steal. He fit in like a glove with our system. And Taylor Rapp, I don't know how he's going to do as a starter. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Kincaid in the draft, James Cook in the draft, Shakir in the draft. A lot of these guys, that, are going to have to step up. Yeah, we had to get younger. That's the SWAT team was injured, man. The SWAT team was injured all year. Jordan Poyer is playing for the Dolphins. I don't know how this is going to work with that team. That team, and to me, I don't think they're going to be good next year. We'll see. I I don't know. This is really difficult because I get what you're saying about McDermott, but a lot of that was due to the injury bug. We got hit with the injury bug really hard this year, and like we said on this show plenty of times, our defense was with duct tape and spit the last couple of games of the season, and guys stepped up. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
I agree. I agree on that part. I just think that I've been saying this in Akeem and Lance, my brothers, Dave Myers over at the Built in Buffalo platform. We talk about this all the time in our little chat.
Yeah.
I've been saying this: bigger, stronger, faster. Bigger, stronger, faster. I want to get big. You know me. I like defense that come up and hit you. Because that's the type of player I was. When I was that big guy. I came up and hit you. I like Cam Chancellor. I like the Legion of Boom. This is what I want to see for this defense.
But what happened with that? They won. They did win. They should have won too.
Yeah, but I want to see that on the back end. I want guys that's going to come up and hit. Guys that Kelsey is not going to just be able to go up and catch whatever he wants with no fear. SWAT team was great, but they couldn't tackle the man. They could not tackle the man. Let's keep it 100.
It's easier said than done.
Big time tight end. So, as much as I loved them for what they did, much respect. But at the end of the day, time to get bigger, stronger, faster, younger. You know what I'm saying? So, as this reset is happening, the only guy that was untouchable on this roster is 17.
Facts.
I'm ran right now.
That's the glue that holds it together, man. That's the glue that holds it together. And he has done nothing but prove himself. And for all this talk about what Josh Allen going to do now, and he instantly out of the top 5 conversation, when Patrick Mahomes just won a Super Bowl with a bunch of receivers you can't even name. I mean, he probably just lost another one, or the Rashid Rice garbage that he did this past week that he just admitted to. So, I mean, I'm not saying the window is closing, but this may make Josh Allen rise to the occasion. So we don't know what's going to happen.
Let's talk about some of these signings. We brought in some players and some decent athletes. We brought in our offensive tackle, Lamel Collins. He played with the Cincinnati Bengals. He struggled with some injuries. Hopefully he can revive his career. We brought in D tackle Austin Johnson, who I'm very excited about.
Yes.
I come downhill and hit you. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy that plays tackle. Boost up.
That's going to be fun.
Line, which we need. We got another offensive lineman, Will Clapp. I like his name. Clap, 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 clap.
Yep.
We got 2-time Super Bowl champion with 2 different teams, Mike Edwards. I'm not going to say he's a long-term solution, but he is a Super Bowl champion. And the essence of
the leadership
Super Bowl champion on your team is he brings that Super Bowl caliber experience. I mean, he won one with Brady in Tampa Bay. He won another one with Patrick Mahomes, 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and 2 very solid defenses. I mean,
exactly.
That defense that Kansas City had last year was very much slept on. They had a
pretty
very
good,
solid defense.
Really good defense. And you bring that championship pedigree to your team, what you want. Mm-hmm. You want guys who have been there before and knows what it takes to win. So you actually absolutely want that on your team.
Yeah, definitely. We also re-signed, brought back Ty Johnson. I really was excited about Ty Johnson. I know we got Fournette, and that kind of got overshadowed a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to see Fournette. I want to see playoff Lenny. But every time I said that, this dude came out and proved why he should be playing and not playoff Lenny. So
yeah, he did. He came out there and did his job.
I'm glad to have him back. I still think we're going to need a power running back. Because he can really spell James Cook very well. But I think we need somebody that's just big and bruising. We're going to talk about that when we get to draft. Curtis Samuel. I think he's a stud.
Ohio State, baby.
Do not believe this guy is a replacement for Diggs at all.
Not at all.
But I do believe he is a slot receiver, a very good slot receiver. What's your thoughts on him?
I mean, I'm an Ohio State fan, so I've been following Curtis Samuel since college. Very good. He was okay very good at Washington. Okay where he was from time to time. I mean, I don't think he's a replacement for Diggs, but I mean, we'll take him where he is now. Definitely brings that veteran leadership. So I mean, I'm okay with it. I was happy with the Curtis Samuel signing. Let's see what happens when he gets here. I mean, again, and we don't know what's going to happen with Joe Brady's offense. To see Joe Brady to do what he did with a whiteboard compared to what he gets with a full offseason, full OTAs, full training camp, and full preseason, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. We added another wide receiver, Mac Hollins. He really hasn't had a big career at all. Another slot guy, but he's big.
Tall.
He's a strong
guy.
dude. He's a big physical guy, about 215, 220. I like because you know what I keep saying, bigger, stronger, faster. And this is a big man who can win some jump balls for you. He could be a special teams guy if you need him to. So I like that signing as well. What's your thoughts on that?
I like the signing too. I like, I like the big receivers. I like the big receivers, get the corners, get the, the go routes and the jump balls. I love that. Absolutely. He played in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. He did play in Atlanta, and I mean, you can't name their quarterback. So I mean, we'll see what he does here. He came from Oakland, had a pretty good season. I say Oakland, Vegas had a good season in Vegas. So I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it, absolutely.
Yo, Ishmael, man, this dude right here, Braylon Allen. We're gonna talk about this when we get to the draft part.
Yeah.
This dude
Wisconsin.
Yo, I like thumpers. 6'2",
I love
5. And
I love it.
Second most yards after contact.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Big Ten football.
But this dude right here, talk about goal line, talk about somebody who can block,
push,
and catch. Oh yeah. We're gonna get into that as well. So also we re-signed DaQuan Jones. We signed, which is major. We really missed him when he went out with that injury.
Yeah,
and he came back, still played well, but at the beginning of this season, he was dominating.
He was unblockable.
Him and
really
Ed together,
yeah.
I mean,
that was a serious tandem right there.
That was, man. Look, man,
definitely something you got to scheme for.
Yeah. Nicholas Morrow from the Philadelphia Eagles. We add a linebacker. I don't know much about him. I didn't watch much Philly last year. Do you know anything about Morrow?
I don't really know too much about him. I mean, I think we're set at the linebacker position. I think we got him more for depth. I mean, we got Terrence and Milano. So, I mean, we're good. Like we're good at linebacker. In case one of those guys go down, I think we signed him more for depth. So we'll see what happens.
We needed to replace Terrell Dodson. There's another one we lost, another player that we lost here who really came on. Like in the beginning of the season, cousin, I was real skeptical of Dotson. And towards the end of the season, man, this guy came on. He really came on. So this is Morrow is his replacement. So hopefully he can fill those shoes very well. We re-signed Quentin Morris, tight end, bringing him back. We brought back Mitch Trubisky, 2-year contract. He started.
I'm not getting that one. I'm not getting that one.
I play anyway, so
but I mean,
he's been a starter in this league. So I mean, hey.
There's just so many ways you could have gone. You could have gone with that one. I get it. He's been here. He's familiar with the team.
Well, all right, we signed David Edwards to a 2-year extension. We signed Matt Hack to a 1-year contract, and we restructured Rasul Douglas. I love Rasul, man. Rasul
great pickup.
Plays, man. This dude, he great just pickup. Makes plays. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the guys that we are bringing back. The end of the year guys. I mean, the only guy I can really, like I said, I'm scratching my head about was Diggs, only because of the cap hit. But I believe it was time to turn on the page on all of those dudes. And we were saying this last year, cousin Brad, during the season with Hyde's injuries. We were saying the same thing about Poyer. He's not the same. He's not. Best years are behind him. And Trey White, unfortunately, he just couldn't stay healthy as a Buffalo Bill.
And that hurts. And you're absolutely right. Micah Hyde couldn't stay on the field. Jordan Poyer could actually stay on the field, and he was like the anchor of the defense. It's just, I mean, he could only do so much back there by himself without Hyde and White back there. I mean, he was only doing so much. Terrell Bernard was playing out of his mind until he went down, and Jordan had to come up and make those plays. Those tackles that he was making. And the body, Father Time is undefeated. The body's going to take them hits. So It is what it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And at this time, we're also going to at the breaking point. So make sure you. At our break point here, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the Built in Buffalo platform on YouTube and Facebook. All right. Look, we also are going to open up the phone lines at the end of the show today, so you will have an opportunity to call in again. Towards the end of the show, we're looking at about the 7:50 mark. Okay, so we're gonna take your calls around that time. So line them up if you want to line them up and jump in here. Cousin Brad,
yes,
talk about some draft players, some players that I really like. Obviously, the position that everyone is talking about right now is the wide receiver position, especially after the departure of Stephon Diggs. Who do you like, man? Who do you like?
I said it on the show earlier today. I'm an Ohio State guy. Marvin Harrison Jr. You set it up. You knew where I was going with this before the show even started. You knew who I like in college. You know what I was thinking about. You know what the trade proposal I told you about. I'm going to share it with our audience. We just got another second-round pick. Yes, for next year. Take the one we got now. Take the second we got this year. Take the second we just got from Minnesota next year as well. Trade up to get that boy. That boy is a special talent. Bring whatever you got to do. Until we get this kid, Marvin Harrison Jr., problem solved immediately. I know it might not. I know it's far-fetched.
I threw this on the screen. No, I want all my picks. I want all of my picks. Okay. I say stay at 28. If you need to jump up to grab a guy, there's about 4 guys. Obviously, Marvin Harrison, he's off the board. He's going to be gone.
Yeah, probably gone.
You stay put, he's not going to be there. I hate to say it, Cousin Brad. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. You're going to have to really pay a big price to get up to the top 10 to even get him. So I'm going with Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr., 6'3", runs a 4.3. I mean, the man wins jump balls. His vertical is crazy. This guy is an amazing athlete. This is what we need right here. This guy is going to come in and going to get you at least 700 yards in the season. He may not do what Stephon Diggs do when it comes to production, but this guy, he has hands, he got hops, he has physicality, and he got speed. Everything I say. Bigger, stronger, faster. Okay.
Well, you see what we just left. You see what we just left. We didn't even talk about this guy. Now that I think about it, we just talked about Gabe Davis. We just let him go. He was bigger, stronger, faster, and we just got rid of him too.
Faster. He was not faster. That dude ran 3 routes.
He was big, but he did make some good catches.
I'm going to say that right on the record on the show. Gabe Davis ran 3 routes. That's his route.
Those sideline catches, them sideline catches was crucial for us. So I'll give credit where credit was due. I hope it works out in Jacksonville. It probably won't, but I hope it does.
Zay Jones went there and did well. So hey, But listen, think about this. So, what if Bills Mafia? Talk to me. What if the Buffalo Bills said this? Now, there is an exception to this, okay? If this guy named Chop Robinson is there, I don't know. I don't know. I know guys hate Penn State guys because of Aaron Maben, but
Aaron Maben.
Listen.
Wow.
I'm just gonna say it. I know a lot of our fans are skeptical about Penn State defensive ends because of Aaron Maben. But okay, that's a real tough one to pick between Chop Robinson and a Brian Thomas Jr. I think you got to go offensive this one because for the simple fact that we're missing Stephon Diggs, you have to make that pickup. But If you do happen to get Brian Thomas Jr. in the first round, 28, let's say 28.
Okay.
I'm coming back into the second round, and I'm snatching Leggett. I'm snatching Leggett in the second round. I'm drafting 2 wide receivers in the first and the second round. I'm doing it.
So
I'm doing
okay.
it.
So then why not get Chop and then get Leggett anyway?
Look, I'm getting 2. Getting 2 receivers. One of these guys.
Okay.
One of these guys is going to be great, if not both.
If I'm not gonna.
If not both, I'm gonna have the biggest and one of the fastest receivers in Brian Thomas Jr. And I'm gonna have the best possession receiver with physicality, with physicality and great ball skills and great production in Leggett, and I can get him in the second round. That's an exciting. That's an exciting draft.
I like where you were going. I like where you're going. I don't think D line is somewhere we have to go here. We pretty solid on D line. We pretty solid on D line. I'm not gonna base my pick on Penn State players off Aaron Maven though. Did you write that down? Did you write Aaron Maven? Wow, Aaron Maven. That's like saying Tom Green. Remember him? Remember Tom Green? Wow. The comedian. He wasn't a player. For kids in the early 2000s, he was kind of funny. I'm just saying, that's what I'm thinking of. Like, that's so throwback. Aaron Maven. Anyway, I like the Robinson pick. I think he's safe. I think he's safe with that. I'm sorry, Thomas Jr. Thomas Jr. Yeah, I like Thomas Jr. Leggett. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about drafting them both. I think you can probably get. Oh no, he got injured. I was going to say the safety from Clemson, but he got injured. I would go maybe offensive line here to finish that up. Yeah, you got La'el Collins as a veteran, but I mean you can always beef up your offensive line in the first round, and I think that will help. But I don't know. I don't know where you go at 28. But yeah, Thomas Jr. and Leggett, that may work. I just wouldn't get them both. I wouldn't get them both.
I would.
And Chop.
At this point, the fans look, man.
It's not about.
One of these guys is going to be your number 1 receiver, and you got both of them. If you get both of them, and you can get both of them, you can get 2 of the best college football receivers. I've been telling you guys this.
But receivers are hit or miss, bro.
I see Eric Moulds 2.0 in Leggett.
Who?
In Leggett.
That's a stretch.
Eric Moulds 2.0. I'm saying it right on record, right here. I'm saying it right here on Buffalo Against the World. I'm seeing Eric Moulds 2.0.
Okay, so explain this to me. If you see Eric Moulds 2.0 in Leggett, why not draft him and see where Thomas ends up in the second round?
Brian Thomas is more like a Randy Moss. That's the difference.
Yo, come on, man.
Man, Brian Thomas is he gets up, man.
Bro,
he got hands.
You really gotta. Okay.
I mean, look, I want them both. Can I not have Eric Moulds and Randy Moss on my team? Can I not have them both? I want them both.
You really don't. You've thrown some serious.
Okay.
See, I was gonna say what I was gonna say about Marvin Harrison Jr., even though we're not gonna probably get him. But there's some big names you throwing out there, bro. There's some big names you comparing these guys to.
Measurables. I'm talking about
measurables.
They measure up to that same stature, and their play in this last season really measures up.
True, it does.
Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100.
I mean, all I can say is James Hardy. Remember him?
Oh, stop this.
What? Did he not have the measurables to make that one touchdown?
James Hardy did not have the college career that.
I'm just saying. You brought up Aaron Maven. I went through my bag of tricks too.
All right, man. It is 7:52, man. We got a call calling in, man. They want to jump in here. 716-940. You are on Buffalo Against the World with Kulu and cousin Brad. Tell us your name. What's your thoughts on the draft?
My name is Ransom Hatch Jr.
What's up, my brother?
From the 12th Man Mafia.
12th Man Mafia. Yeah, my man. What's going on, baby?
I started it a few years ago. I'm also an admin of Josh Allen's Mafia.
My man.
I just have a few things I want to ask you guys, and a point that I would like to put out there. We have a lot of draft picks this year. We have 11. Next year, our cap situation is way different.
True.
27 million to be 27 million more.
Yeah. And if we get off and under Von Miller, say something don't work and he doesn't pan out, we're even better. So we could package both years of picks together somehow in a formula to move up and take whoever we wanted. Because we know next year we can always bring in somebody with the money we have.
Yeah.
So that's the scenario in my mind.
So do you mean in this year's draft? You mean in this year's draft?
Yeah, that gives us the option. That gives us the option this year to get Brian Thompson Jr. and Leggett. Leggett will be, I think, he moved up out of the second round. He ran a 4.39 40-yard dash.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that moves him from the second round into the first round or late in the first round.
Look, I think we can get them both.
Yes, sir.
I think we can get them both because it's literally like 10 really good receivers that they have ranked ahead of Leggett. I would wait on Leggett.
But you could have Randy Moss and what you said on this team. It is possible.
Eric Mose.
The second thing is,
it's a big shoes to fill.
Talking to this linebacker from the University of Buffalo a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Constant contact with him. Okay. Yeah. Now,
do you think he'll be drafted? Do you think he'll be drafted? The guy from UB?
No.
That's what I'm saying. If he's not drafted, is there some way you can work out a deal with him to come to Buffalo anyway and save the draft pick?
I'm sure it can happen. I think it can happen.
I mean, we've seen guys local before. We've seen Dominic Cook, Naaman Roosevelt. We've seen guys.
All this stuff together and do all that this year, knowing that next year we have more money to spend on bringing somebody in if we had to.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do something different in the draft after taking them two receivers?
Yeah.
Or would you just take the rest of your picks the way they are?
I would take the best players on the board, obviously at the positions that we need. I mean, I do think Mike Edwards, I don't believe he's a permanent solution at safety. I believe he's a short-term solution. So you do have to address safety. You still have to address your center position. You still have to address. Well, I think that's about it, right? Your safety, your depth at linebacker, and your offensive line depth. So
yeah,
I got one more player. I got a player I want to throw out there for you. Mm-hmm. There's this kid that plays for Iowa. I think he's a defensive tackle. They've been talking a lot about Buffalo. Has been looking at him. I think maybe his last name's Newton.
I haven't followed him. Are you talking about Noah Shannon?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
What's his? Does it show his jersey number?
99.
Oh,
I don't know much about Iowa.
Sure if that's it or not. But the dude's a beast. He throws players aside and he gets to the quarterback, but he had some injury problems earlier in his career. Mm-hmm. Is there any position that you would like besides receiver to get a specific player in this draft? And that's all I got.
You know what? I gotta say, thanks for the call, my brother. Shout out to the 12th Man Mafia, Josh Allen Mafia.
Yeah.
Look, I really like Chop Robinson, who I mentioned earlier. If a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. is not there, I like a guy named Tyler Nubin. I think from Minnesota. He's a ball hawk. You know, this guy comes downhill. He's a tackler. And he's about 6'2", 210. Comes downhill. I think he has really good ball skills. And he's not afraid to tackle. So that's a guy that I could see McDermott really, really liking for this defense. I don't know how much you know about Tyler Nubin, cousin Brad, but I think
I like Nubin, but I mean, you know, we're naming guys that went up against competition that were, you know, you talk about Nubin from Minnesota, and I watch a lot of Big Ten football. In Minnesota. They didn't have a lot of talent, you know, on their defense. He was one of the standouts. So I like him. I definitely like him. You know, when it was time to play these guys in big games, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Michigan State, he did show up and he did show out. So I like it. But, I mean, when you talk about guys from these schools like Iowa and Minnesota, excuse me, the competition is only going to get better when you make to that NFL level. Like, this is the creme de la creme. So, I mean, yeah, we'll see. I like him. I will go with – I wouldn't mind Chop. It depends on what –
Brian Thomas is not there. If Brian Thomas Jr. is not there, then you got to go get a Chop. You got to get a Chop.
But, I mean, we don't – it's too much. It's too much up in the air with Von Miller. Like, yeah, he's been coming back – that money is just sitting there. You know what I mean?
He took a pay cut. He did take a pay cut. He did take a pay cut to stay with the Buffalo Bills. And this is why I believe a lot of those players that are no longer here refuse to take one, because he chose to. He realized that Buffalo stayed through and through with him, with his situation, with the case, with the, you know, his non-production. And he said, hey, I want to be on this team. He said he wants to be here. And they restructured that deal. I think he lost like $8 million. So he really showed that he wants to be here and he wants to show something. So, you know, right now, again, I wouldn't take Chop Robertson if Brian Thomas is there. But if he's not there and Chop is, I'm taking Chop. All right, let's take another call right here. 716-816. You are on Buffalo Against the World with Kulu and Cousin Brad. What's your thoughts on the draft?
Hey, what's up? What's up, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you're good.
This Marcus again.
Oh, what's up, Marcus?
Marcus, you're back.
This Marcus had the call of the day. Go ahead, Marcus.
All right. Yeah. Kind of looking at numbers. You're looking at the 4 quarterbacks are going to go. Figure the 4 quarterbacks. The tight end Brockers, he's going to go. That's 5. The 3 receivers, that's 8. Then you have the 1 corner, that's 9. Then the other D tackle, that's from Texas. Those are probably locked in 10. Locked in 10, that's pretty consistent through all of the drafts. There are approximately 5 offensive tackles that are round 1 draft worthy. A lot of teams need tackles. And obviously we got the second set of receivers that's coming. So after you get them first 10 out the way, the Bills have that second round pick they picked up. You can almost guarantee they're going to use that to move up in the draft. And because they have the extra pick, and they have so many extras this year, you can look at that saying, you get to around, say, pick 15, and then the draft is going to get interesting for the Bills. Because now you start seeing if the teams start picking offensive tackles. If they start picking offensive tackles, then you see everybody else drop. Then those receivers are going to drop. Thomas may drop some. Franklin might drop some. Leggett was originally around the Bills 28, but because you're looking at somebody 230 running 4.39. Of course, he's going to go up some more as well. Mm-hmm. And then you got, like I said, Chop is one there. Then you have the other kid that's from. He has a real different name.
Adonai Mitchell.
Ranked ahead of Chop.
Mitchell.
Yeah. No. Mitchell's the other receiver. He's also in that second bracket with Franklin and Thomas and Mitchell. I'm talking about the other pass rushers.
Right.
I can't think of his name. He's ranked actually ahead of Chop. So once you start seeing around 15 and start seeing where the slide is going, because once somebody trades up, and they trade up to get offensive tackle, then teams might start moving to the tackles. Then the receivers start sliding down.
Right.
So that's going to be right around 15 when you decide with the Bills are like, okay, we got a chance to maybe go with somebody sold like at 20. The Steelers need offensive tackles. They got their number 1 receiver. They got the kid Perkins. So Pickens. So now you see the Bills say, well, maybe we can flop with the Steelers if there's a run on receivers. They say, yo, we'll take your spot. We can switch up. You can still get the tackles because the tackles are going to drop.
Right.
Because they're the run on receivers.
Right. I agree.
Interesting.
I really like that thought. You know,
Marcus is killing it today. He's killing it today.
those 10 are pretty solid, locked in
Yeah.
as to where they're gonna go.
They're pretty much gone.
Mhm.
So once they're gone, then you can start saying, okay, let's go on. But there's always going to be somebody that's going to come in the draft and turn it on his head, and
True.
get somebody that's and the thing is,
Minnesota.
you taking people too early and all that. Teams are going to get who they need and who they want. If you come a little early, but you got who you wanted, you can be like, man, so what? I got this who we needed. This who fits what we do, and we're gonna get that. I could even see the kid, the running back. They keep saying the running back might not go in the first round. That big kid, Allen.
Yeah,
You
Braylon
can-
Allen.
You can get him in the third round.
Yeah, I like him for the third round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
round. I don't think he got to the third round. I can see him going in the second. And the reason I see the second is because you see how teams are when teams are playing that cover two shell. You got to be able to run the ball.
Yep.
And if you can get to run the ball, you get somebody that can punish you running the football. Then you got players out there. They making business decisions now.
Yep.
If you got a kid that can actually do that, Josh is 250 at 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's like teams make business decisions tackling him. Now, obviously, we don't want him taking all them hits like that, but just having a 250-pound running back coming through the middle, and you got safeties that's 10, 15 yards off, and they got to come up and hit this guy. They're not doing it on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I'm saying Allen. He might not last third round. He might jump around in the middle, that late second, middle second, depending on where the teams are lined up at.
Right. So, Marcus, if Brian Thomas is there, and I'm going to let you go after this, if Brian Thomas Jr. is there at 28, Chop Robinson is there at 28, who do you take?
Not even close. I won't even let you finish that. Thomas, absolutely. It's not even close.
My man.
Not even close.
All right, my man Marcus, man, you've been our caller.
Shout out to you,
Hey,
man.
Please keep calling
Shout
in.
out to you.
We greatly appreciate you, my brother.
Shout out to you. Or third option, you don't draft a receiver in this round at all. You save your picks, trade your picks from this year, and get an early draft pick next year and get Travis Hunter. That's just an option too. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
No.
He's not coming out this year. He coming out next year.
No.
Just throwing it out there.
No.
Just throwing it out there.
Brian Thomas Jr.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Chop Robinson in the first round. Chop Robinson, if he's there, if Brian Thomas is not there, then we got to go. Chop.
Aaron Maven. Wow.
All right,
Can't
so
believe
let's move along here, cousin Brad. We at 8:05. So win or sin for us right now. Let's start right there at the Stephon Diggs. We started the show with Stephon Diggs. Where are we at receiver? Are we at a win or a sin right now?
I think we're at a meh. Yeah, you lost your big playmaker, but I mean, again, when it comes to the wide receiver position, are we talking about wide receiver position or guys Josh Allen can throw the ball to? Because we still got James Cook, we still got Kincaid, we still got Shakir, brought a couple guys in, Curtis Samuel, and a couple other guys brought in. So, again, I will go with meh.
Okay. All right, I'm going to move on. I'm going to take this one. Center. Mitch Morse is gone. Are we at a win or a sin right now? I think Connor McGovern will be shifting over to center. I think that's a win. McGovern had a really good season. Quiet, really good season. That offensive line was solid. I don't know how he's going to do at center. I don't know. But I can tell you that he has the flexibility to flex into center at times. So I think we'll be fine there. So I'm going to say it's a win there.
Gotcha.
Where do you got for Gabe?
That's a win. That's a win. He's replaceable. He was replaceable. Big guy. Had a good start to his career. Wish him nothing but success in Jacksonville. But I will go a win.
All right. So we lose Tre'Davious White.
Ouch.
Win or sin? I'm going to say it's a win. I mean, you got guys like Rasul Douglas. We got our other two corners that's been played fairly well. We still got to see what's going on with Kyer Elam. So I think ultimately it's a win. We get him off the books. He hasn't been healthy. It is what it is.
Yeah. Christian Benford, Rasul Douglas, nothing but good things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're going to do with Kyrie either. We tried to get him. We tried to debate to get them to put him at safety. It hurts, but it's a win. It's a tough win. It's a tough win.
All right, so now let's go to SWAT team, man. Let's talk about the first part of SWAT team. This one is on you, Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer's gone. Win or send for Buffalo?
It's a win. It's a win. You have to get younger in the secondary. Jordan Poyer was, hey man, he was making all the hits. He was doing everything he can. Absolute ball hawk of a leader. Made his first Pro Bowl 2 years ago. But it's a win. I mean, he had his great career, but Father Time is undefeated. It's a win.
Yeah. All right, so we got the other safety. We got Micah Hyde. He's gone. I think this is a win for us. Obviously he was on the tail end of his career. Loved the guy. Loved everything he did for Buffalo. He was a ball hawk when he was in his prime, but unfortunately that time came and went. And look, man, I know a lot of fans on the chat is talking about trading Elam. With Elam's measurables of 6'2", 205, running a 4.3, could he fit at safety? Being a guy that's more of a he's not really a zone cover guy. He's more of a man cover guy. I mean, I think he could possibly be slotted over there with his size and his ability. We talked about that throughout the season. I think we can find a place for him, and at least, very least, I think he's still on this roster for depth. So I definitely think Micah Hyde being gone is a win for us.
I agree, and I'm not opposed to moving Elam to safety. I mean, if you trade for him, what are you going to get? I mean, I think he has more depth, value being on the field. We've seen this before. We mentioned it on the show before when we moved Aaron Williams from corner to safety. So it has been done before. Guys have moved from corner to safety all the time in this league. So I'll be open to it. So I would keep him.
Yeah. All right, we lose Dotson, and he's a depth linebacker, but he played a lot of snaps for us. I mean, he really played a lot of games, started a lot of games. So what's your thoughts on his loss? Is it a win or a sin for Buffalo?
It's a win.
Marlowe replaced him.
It's a win. It's a win. I love what Dotson did. He definitely stepped up and did what he had to do. But Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard are absolute studs. So I think we're good. We're good as far as depth coming in. Win.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cousin Brad, man, we want to thank all our callers and everybody who participated in the show tonight. But now we're going to go into our last segment of the of the night here. Top 5 receivers, Bills receivers. Does Diggs make your list? Cousin Brad, we talked pregame before the show. Go ahead.
Right. So okay, are we talking about if you played for the Bills, or are you talking about what are we talking? What are we talking?
I'm talking about the thrills you gave the Buffalo Bills fans. I'm not talking about guys like Terrell Owens, who was great everywhere else. Good here too, but all-time great Bills. Let's keep that in perspective here.
Okay. Yes, he is in the top 5. If we're going to do that, if we're going to talk that on what you said, when we're going to just erase T.O. like he wasn't here, you know what I mean? Whatever. Fine. Eric Moles, Andre Reed. I would throw Stephon Diggs right there. Stevie Johnson and James Lofton.
Love it. I'm agree with you with the exact names you say, just in a different order. I'm going with 4, Andre Reed is number 1. Eric Moles is number 2. I'm going with Stephon Diggs as number 3. I'm going with James Lofton as number 4. And who was the other guy you mentioned?
Stevie Johnson.
And Stevie Johnson is my number 5. Oh, we forgot about Jerry Butler. Jerry Butler deserved to be on that top 5.
Nah. I'm sorry. I can't. Okay, so who are you taking out? Because I'm not taking any of those dudes out.
I'll give Jerry Butler
exactly.
16 in my 5, but he had
I respect Jerry Butler. I respect everything he did, and I'm thankful for what he did. But I'm not taking any of those dudes out that I put Jerry Butler in there.
Yeah. Schmel said Lee Evans.
No.
He's
very fast, but
I mean, his best years was with JP Losman.
Who? I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. There's so many factors to that.
That's the
like
problem.
Who? Like, yeah, we see what he did with Flacco. Remember, he almost caught the touchdown. Like, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I love Lee Evans, but no, bro.
I mean, Lofton was here for 4 years. Was it 4 or 5 years he came? I believe in like '89. I'm not too sure. I believe he was here in the year where we played Cleveland and lost. So I think Lofton.
I don't think he. I think he was in. I think he was still in Green Bay at that time.
In '89.
Yeah, but I mean, when he got here, though, he stretched the field for Andre Reed to go across the middle and Pete Metzelaar to come across the middle. He was that dude we needed to get over that hump. So I love Lofton. I'm not taking anything away from him.
BB doesn't make the list, Scott. Sorry. BB does not make the list.
Oh man, Woo! He's down. He's down further.
But you know what? Out of all the stuff that the antics and everything, the 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. I mean, it was real. It was real. It was
absolutely
out of the darkness for us. To have that tandem of Josh and Diggs, will forever respect Diggs for what he did and being a professional, even though he wasn't happy. We cannot deny this guy's preparation.
Absolutely.
We cannot deny his durability. He's only missed 1 game since he's been a Buffalo Bill.
Right.
I mean, we can't deny his consistency.
And let's call a spade a spade. This dude came in and made an immediate impact. Like, sometimes it's all you get the players that come in, they kind of like test the waters. This dude came from Minnesota and hit the ground running. Like literally hit the ground running. He made Josh Allen go from here to here. Like, so I'm not taking that away. I'm like, I definitely appreciate everything he did. Like, Stephon Diggs was that boy. So shout out to him.
Yeah. Diggs was that
Thank
boy.
you.
Definitely makes my top 5 Bills receivers of all time. I think he's going to do well. I think this really works out great for both teams. In the end, Diggs didn't want to be here. That's what I believe. He got to go he went from Minnesota, then he came to Josh Allen, and now he's going to Stroud, who's an up-and-coming great receiver in this league. I mean, great quarterback in this league. I think he's going to do well over there, and, I hope he does well. I just don't hope he don't beat us. Other than that, I think it's good for us, too. It's a reset. The team that we had 4 straight years, we played the Chiefs 3 times in that 4-year stretch, and we didn't beat them. And
we played the Texans this year. Do you boo them?
At the end of the day, I think it works out good for us. And now, Cousin Brad, Josh Allen is the veteran of this team, of this offense. He is the undisputed leader, even though he was the undisputed leader anyway. But now he is that guy that people are going to look to. These young players are going to come in and look to him. No one's going to be intimidated by the number 1 receiver in the room. Everybody who comes in and is drafted this year as a receiver is going to compete for that spot. And that's what I want to see, an intense competition in training camp. Thoughts?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think we got to cut Diggs a little bit of slack, man. I mean, he didn't have any off the field issues. Like, there was no scandals or anything like that. Like, his brother, tweeted some stuff on Twitter. He really didn't say anything terrible about Josh. People may be right saying he don't want to be here. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to rule out the guy as the big bad wolf of the locker room. Because, I mean, he's a receiver, man. These dudes are divas, man. When the receivers get good, they get ahead of themselves. They start loving themselves. They want to win. So I'm not going to rule the guy out. But, yeah, Josh is he the leader. He the guy that makes the gas. He put the gas in the car. Everybody knows it's Josh's team. So this shouldn't even be a debate.
Yeah. All right. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the Built-in Buffalo platform, which brings you Buffalo Against the World and so many other great podcasts right here on this channel. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you leave a comment down below on the YouTube as well. It just keeps us going, man. It's free. Keep supporting us so we can keep bringing you great content right here on Buffalo Against the World. We'll be back next Monday, 7 p.m. Be there. Be square.
Be with us. We here.